Welcome to another episode of Schadenfreude Productions, learning how to play Elite Dangerous. I'm going to try to show you guys how to land, take off, land, and travel between stars and within the star systems. It's kind of complicated when you first see it. I think if you see it from somebody's point of view, it'll help you out a little bit. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. Give me a like. If you have any questions I didn't answer, let me know and I'll add them to the video. Okay, this is the particular part of the settings that you really have to take some time with. This is all the fine motor controls for your spaceship. This is lateral thrust, left, right, vertical, or vertical thrust, and descend. These are all going to work as a switch. You touch it, it speeds up. You let it go, it immediately goes to zero. So it's very helpful in landing and parking your spaceship. This here is just, I want to bring to your attention your landing map when you're in spaceports. It turns into like a little mini game for you to land. I just want to bring it to your attention now. We'll look at it in detail later on. It's a big one coming in. As you can tell, I'm probably not the best on a post-flight checklist. I'm just getting out now and realizing I have to retract my landing gear. So you might want to consider doing that before this point in your trip. Okay, setting up a interstellar jump using the hyperdrive, it's a two-step process. You have to go into your communications menu, go to navigation, highlight where you're going and lock it in. Then you engage the hyperdrive, and what that does is it lets you see your locked in target on the highlighted screen in the highlighted area in the screen, and that lets you aim to where you want to go. And then once it gets charged up, it'll let you throttle up. You go ahead, add power, and you're off and running. And just remember that your J switch is a hyperdrive switch, and it's a toggle. So if you want to drop out of hyperdrive, hit J again. I think it takes a double click to do that. You might risk damaging your ship or destroying it, but if you need to get out and hurry, that's how you do it. As you came out of hyperdrive, you noticed you were within sight of the star of this system. You really have to turn around and get out of there really quick, otherwise you get caught by the gravitational pull of the sun and start getting pulled to it, and the temperatures start rising and your ship is in danger. So as quickly as you can, go back to your communications navigation section, choose the place where you're going as far as whether, the space station. Once you have the space station settled, as you see on screen, you center up on it. Go ahead and throttle up, but just understand, if you're looking at your throttle control, you want to keep it in the blue area at all times. What'll happen is the game itself, or the ship itself, will actually get to the halfway point and start decreasing your speed. So it'll get to a maximum of about 6 to 10 C, which is 10 times the speed of light. And as it gets to that point, as you watch this, it starts dropping again. You'll notice that the boxes on screen are showing you that you are in those bars designate that you're in intersystem drive. So, and like I said, as you see on the screen there, just keep watching your speed and keep it in the blue. Generally, as you watch that, I'd put it down on the last notch of blue, and that pretty much covers the whole trip. As it slows you down, it starts slowing you down a little earlier, but it maintains the correct location of the throttle for most of the trip, and that's that. As you near your destination, you notice the little safe disengage is ready. That means if you hit your J key, you will go ahead and drop out of hyperdrive, and that will bring you into normal mode, and you'll be starting to jockey for position to the entrance of the space station. As I'm coming into the space station, if you watch the particle streams going across your screen that are simulating tracers left of matter going across your shields, you'll see that I was utilizing the fine attitude controls, to kind of line up. You'll see different variations of left, right, up, down, crabbing sideways. That sort of thing. So, you can actually use them in regular flight. I would think that, as I get a little bit better at this, I think in fighting, I could see it being very useful in dogfights and stuff. Even lining up on the, see now, right now we're going down. That's a fine, fine thruster control for down. And you'll see those kinds of changes throughout the whole video here. Just wanted to bring that to your attention. Okay, as you start to make your final approach to your landing, one of the things you have to do is get within range of the space dock, and it'll tell you when you're in the safe zone for no shooting zone. Once you're there, you have to go to your communications panel one more time, go to contact, choose the settlement, and ask them for docking. You'll get that permission to dock, And as you do, you'll see that you've been assigned a pad, and you have a countdown timer for 10 minutes to get yourself there. So you got to kind of time yourself, get in with the traffic, find your spot to land, and then land.
Detecting hostile scan.
Okay, so this comes the fun part. How do you land in here? First off, you have to find your right pad. They've assigned me a number. I think it's 20 or 31 in this case. So once I see the pad, I stop using all what I call gross propelling things like throttle. I start using my fine control buttons for forward, back, left, right, up, and down. These things are really nice because the buttons are really nice because they immediately take you to zero, whereas your throttle, if you're using a variable rate throttle, it's really hard to kind of get that down to zero fast enough in these tight places. So first thing I do is go ahead and line up, and as if you'll watch, you'll see when you're in range, you'll see it change over to the map for landing. It'll represent your ship and where you are relative to the landing pad. Now, as you can see, I forgot to put my landing gear down, so I'll get a warning. I had a little bit of trouble remembering if it was up or down. I kept having to my two buttons are very close, and I still have some motor memory problems with it, so it's going to take a little while to get used to it. But yeah, it's kind of a messy landing, but like they always say, any landing you can walk away from is a good one. So it takes a little bit, but it'll land here in a second and you'll be all set.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.